The long debated question: single family homes versus multifamily buildings. Who's the winner? The answer is in this video.
Well, not really.
And that's because they're both amazing. But in this video, I'm going to lay out the pros and the cons to each type of real estate, and most importantly, what's best for you. Because this really is more of a personal question. And after buying 150 properties, most of them single family properties, but I got some multifamily buildings in there as well, I got the answers you need. So first things first, the initial investment is way lower when it comes to single family properties. So if budget is your main issue, if qualification power is your main issue, single family might be the better bet for you, at least for now, because single family homes in the good areas of America where we're investing in, like just outside of Houston, Texas, you can buy a detached house for 180, 200 grand. Like, it doesn't really get much lower than that. Oh, actually, one place does. Memphis, Tennessee, where you can buy the same 3-bed, 2-bath house for about 80 to 100 grand. But let's be real, dude. Memphis ain't no joke. That's a rough city, lots of crime. But hey, you can still find good pockets in Memphis that are going to cash flow out and get a decent quality tenant. I got to catch my words there. Decent quality tenant. But if you want that nice, boring quality tenant, like I said, Texas, lots of areas like that are good for you, and prices are way lower. So 20% down on a property like that, or if you go the 5% down route, that might be an option for you, but 20% down on 180 grand, like, come on. If you can't make that happen as a serious investor, we got some other issues, which I'm going to help you with by subscribing to this channel. But on the other side, we got multifamily buildings, and even in a good quality area, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, whatever, the average good multifamily building is going to be upwards to 1 million to infinity, 5 million, 20 million, etc. But, you know, a good 6-plex, 10-plex, you're looking at least $1 million. So much more money needed to put down, and it's going to need more money as well for renovations. If that boiler system goes, if the roof goes, that's a major expense, and you got to have the money for it. The second thing I want to talk about is financing. Now, financing on the multifamily side is actually much, much easier. Even though it's a way bigger asset, it's commercial real estate. If you're buying 6 units and above, it's treated as commercial. It's treated as business. And we all know that if you're working as a business person with business type lenders and mortgage brokers and banks, it is way easier because they don't care so much about you personally. They don't really care so much about your credit rating, your job income, your taxes. They care first and foremost about the property. Is the property bringing in enough revenue to cash flow, to pay the debt service, to pay the mortgage? Is it going to cash flow? That is priority number one that banks really care about when it comes to commercial type lending. Now, on the flip side, I will say you can buy single family real estate with that same type of commercial lending. This is what we do as foreign nationals. For being a Canadian investing in the US, I have to go the commercial route, which is fine by me because it's way easier. It just costs more money. Obviously, the interest rate is much higher, but I don't have to worry about taxes and all that credit checks. I don't have to do any of that. And these loans are called DSCR, a debt service coverage ratio, which is a commercial type banking. So you can do it on the single family homes, but if you're an American citizen, most likely you're going to be filing for a traditional type residential mortgage where they care a lot about you. Show me where the money came from. Show me your income. How much do you make every year? What are your taxes? Let me pull a credit check. Like, you got to jump through all the hoops, dude. I don't want to do that. As a savvy investor, buying lots of properties, we're buying 10 properties a month at this point. I ain't got time for that. So I'm raising money from private lenders, and any mortgage that I need is going to be a DSCR commercial type mortgage. But that being said, to wrap it up, commercial multifamily real estate is much easier to do business in and to get financing for. Number 3, cash flow. No secret, multifamily buildings almost every time is going to cash flow a lot more per unit and for the amount of money you're putting in. You will get a higher cash on cash return with multifamily buildings in most cases. Now, we can still find great single family deals. Obviously, we're doing strategies like I'm doing where we're buying deals 50 cents on the dollar. They're cash flowing like crazy. We're pretty much stealing them from sellers for many different reasons of why a seller wants to sell at a deep, deep discount. But still, for the most part, per unit, per money, and money for money involved in the deal, multifamily buildings are going to come out ahead usually every single time. Now, that doesn't mean it's better just for that. Cash flow wise, it's probably better for multifamily, but total return on investment, appreciation is going to be much higher with single family homes. So dollar for dollar appreciation is going to be higher. The tenant quality is going to be 10 times more with single family homes, which is the next thing I'm just going to lead into here, is tenant quality, which is a big factor to think about. Because for me, and this is why I'm a single family guy, dude, I'm a business guy. I've done a ton of deals. I'm a savvy investor. I get multifamily buildings. I understand it. I was a realtor for 12 years, specializing with investors. I helped many clients buy multifamily. I understand it. But for me personally, dude, I've seen too much. I don't want to deal with the garbage, low quality tenants as much. The single family tenants are amazing. They're nice families, mom and dad, 2 kids, the dog. They're going to move in. They're going to stay there for 5, 6, 7 years before they move on and maybe buy a house or something like that. Nice quality tenants working great jobs. Out of my 50 single family rental properties, out of the 150 that I've bought, I've only had one issue with a non-payment of rent, and they ended up paying next month. Like, I've really had no issues with all of these tenants. With multifamily tenants, dude, there's always problems. Why? They're lower quality. Think about it. They're paying a lower rent, right? A single family home in the average area, $1,500, $1,800, $2,000 a month rent, right? That's a lot of money. It takes a certain caliber of person to be able to afford that. Your multifamily building, $700 for the 1-bedroom unit, $800, $1,000. They're on government works. They're on government programs. Low quality, not bad people, but tend to be low quality. Your rate of expecting something to happen is higher. Your problem rate is going to be more likely higher. They're going to cause you more problems. So if you're willing to deal with that and hire a property management company and know the rules, and if you're investing in the right states, right? Obviously, like Georgia, Texas, Florida, where we can kick tenants out, all those advantages, no problem. But if you're doing this shit in New York, oh my God, are you kidding me? Way too much risk. So it's just a matter of you thinking over all the pros and cons to each. Number 5, your wealth growth ability. What's going to make you wealthier the fastest? No doubt, it's going to be multifamily in most cases. Cash flow wise, of course, but also valuation wise, for doing the work, for renovating a single family home or for renovating apartments. Hands down, multifamily buildings are going to win. Why? Because the valuation of the building depends on cap rates, which basically means it depends on the income. So if you can increase the rental income, you're going to, by a factor of a ton, to put it in layman's terms, you're going to jack the value of the building. Because see, with single family homes, to raise the value, the home is the value. You got to make the home prettier. You got to make a nicer kitchen. You got to redo the floors, whatever. With multifamily buildings, that matters to some degree for valuation purposes, but it really boils down to income. What's the amount of rent? What's the revenue coming in? If you can jack that up by simply installing a dishwasher, by simply installing laundry and in-suite laundry inside their units, like those little things that don't cost a lot of money, but are going to add $50, $100 per tenant, per apartment. And then when you do remodel a whole unit and jack that unit up by $400, $500 more, you're adding so much value to the building you can't even comprehend. For example, if I do a $30,000 reno in a single family home in America, make it look nice, some slight touches up, make it look nice, I'm going to raise the value of the house, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, something like that, right? If I do the same $30,000 in one unit and I add $700 to the rent, more than I would have got before, like I could have, depending on the cap rate in the area, I could have jacked the value up of the building by $120,000. By spending $30,000, I upped it $120,000. Whereas the single family homes, I spent $30,000, I upped the value $40,000, $50,000. So I got some equity for my work, but like the multifamily is tenfold. So that's really where, if you're savvy and you understand business, you understand commercial financing, you understand the rules of commercial real estate, which I can't get into in this video. I got so many other videos on my channel explaining how cap rates work and what happens when you tweak them, but like you can make serious wealth quickly with multifamily. Number 6, we got market demand. What has a stronger demand for resale and for getting that thing sold and for raising money for investors, etc.? It's single family all day long. Why? Everybody needs a single family home to live in. Everybody wants a single family home to live in. Not everybody wants a multifamily house, and certainly to buy a multifamily building. You're dealing with a very subsector of the market. You're dealing with investors only who can buy your property, and investors that want multifamily and understand the business model. With single family homes, I can sell it to mom and dad. I can sell it to a first-time home buyer, second-time home buyer. I can sell it to an investor. I can sell it to anybody. The market demand, hands down. The speed of liquidity, obviously, single family takes the win on that one. Number 7, the risk. The risk is obviously much lower with a single family. Why? They're going to be better quality tenants. You're going to find them a lot easier, and you're dealing with a smaller amount of money. So if you make a mistake, if you lose, overbuy, over renovate, you just wait a couple years, the market will pick up. You'll almost be okay if you can hold the property at least 5 years. You're going to make some money. In most cities, in most America, you're going to make some money. With multifamily, if you make a mistake, like if you don't understand what you're doing, you're not budgeting properly. Like I said, the roof goes, that's like $100,000. The boiler goes 30, 40 grand. Like if you don't have that money, that budget set aside, if you don't know how to manage tenants and raise the value and do rent increases on, like, the multifamily is a business. Single family, you can just do it as a hobby. Any Joe Blow who somewhat understands real estate can be a landlord with single family homes. With multifamily, like 6 units and above, 10 units and above buildings, you got to be savvy and know what you're doing. So the risk is way more. And last but not least for this video, management. Obviously, single family is way easier. You can self-manage. Most people can manage at least one single family tenant, pick up the rent, deposit it, deal with any issues. Multifamily, again, it's a business. You got to know what you're doing. You got to have a team. You can't self-manage a 10-plex. Like if you're doing that, you're an amateur, number one. Number two, you don't understand shit about business. You got to have a structure, and you gotta treat it like a business. I keep saying the word business, but that's what it is. So that's the video. That's all the top tips of the pros and cons. Number one, just to break it all down. Single family, easy peasy, boring, quality. I made all my money with single family real estate. Multifamily, amazing. You can make money so much faster. You can double, triple your wealth so much faster. Higher cash flow, easier to retire from work faster with multifamily. But dude, you got to know what the fuck you're doing. This isn't something you just play around with and guess as you go. You got to have most of your knowledge figured out first before you start, and then you're obviously going to learn more as you go. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button.